Carmen Salvino and some famous names such as Ted Hendricks and Tommy Lasorda. Now, right now, Nathan Terry, fourth frame, must get some strikes.
He does. The championship pair here at Kendall Lanes. And speaking of a pair, tomorrow on ABC, 4 Eastern Time, a regional live doubleheader. 2 great games. Illinois battling Iowa, Kentucky taking on Nemesis, Georgia.
And Illinois, a lot of trouble without Kendall Gill. He'll be out for about 10 weeks. And, of course, Iowa has no losses at home. Could give Illinois some trouble. Kentucky, I think, will have no trouble with Georgia, Chris. But watch Illinois. Now, this man must strike again.
Big double because his opponent, Ferraro, has 4 in a row and will be shooting now in the 5th.
The real positive of that little 60-second break we had between the 4th and 5th frames showed up right there for this young man, Nathan Terry. He was struggling in the first 3 frames, wasn't even close, got a little breather, almost like a little timeout for him, and he's regained his composure, put 2 strikes together against a man who is just about unflappable, Dave Ferraro. 4 in a row, 5th frame.
String broken at 4, and he has left the 3-6.
He'll go across lane for this. The young man who's had a history of wrist problems. He always has his wrist wrapped in at least a wrist device to hold it. He says he hasn't had much trouble for the last year and a half, but he's always worried about it.
And then chopped the 6 off the 3.
David, always a quick player, a little bit nonchalant. Jumps up there, takes the 3-6 for granted, slides right by the 3-pin, smacks the 6 right in the face, but has left the door wide open for Nathan Terry Jr., a mistake that you will not see Dave Ferraro make very often. Let's see if he can regain his composure here and get back on the strike string.
3 big misses here in our telecast today. So, Nathan Terry, and we look at the Ferraros here. This is Lorraine and Jack Ferraro, David's parents, and Grandma Antoinette is here as well. They're on the right of your screen.
Nathan Terry, who just got the biggest break of his life in the championship round, needs to capitalize on it right here in the 6th frame. Can cut the lead to 11.
How could it?
Unbelievable. One of the worst breaks you can have in professional bowling. He leaves a solid 7. Watch the action of the 4-pin. It'll go across the sideboard. It'll normally take out the 7-pin, but what happens? The 4 gets driven right straight back. Too much power. The 2 slides by the 7. Nathan Terry must settle for a spare. He could have cut the lead to 11. Now the best he can do is trail by 22.
We're in our semifinal match. The winner of this game will meet the tournament leader from California, Randy Peterson, a winner earlier this year, the AC Delco Classic.
Winners earlier this year, Del Ballard Jr. with 2 titles. He won Las Vegas and the Quaker State last week, is the roommate of Nathan Terry Jr., and Nathan credits Del for keeping him calm this week in his charge to the championship round. Now, 7th frame, Nathan Terry trails by 22, spare working.
Leaving the 9.
Well, that's the break that a player can get sometimes. When he goes high, he can have that 2-pin go to the sideboard and trip out the 4. Watch the action of this pin here. The 2 will come between the 4 and knock out the 9. Doesn't happen.
All right. Next pair coming in the 7th, 23 pins. That's the lead held by Ferraro in the red shirt. Back again at Don Carter's Kendall Lanes in Miami for the $160,000 Budweiser Classic, the first of 2 on our winter tour this year. Next will be in North Olmsted, Ohio. Here's a man of his 4 victories. 2 of them have been Budweiser events.
Leads by 23. Seventh frame can extend to 33.
Leaving a 4-7.
David just a pinch confused on the right-hand lane, as our statistician Palmer Fahlgren indicates that he has struggled in the 5th and 7th frames on that particular lane. With this conversion, he would still lead by 23.
Okay, Dave Ferraro. We asked him how he feels about making a championship round so many times with Brian Voss.
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. Last year, we're both coming off our best year yet, and I think we have similar roles. We both loft the ball out on the lane, and I think we have pretty similar styles.
7 of 9 times. 150,000 last year for Dave.
Boy, you just cannot walk down the lane and place it in the 1-3 pocket more nicely than David did in that particular shot. He was nice and relaxed, went up there in the 8th room, and bang, strike.
Well, you love to pick winners. Starting at 4 Eastern tomorrow. Regional doubleheader, Illinois, Iowa, Kentucky, Georgia.
Iowa will give Illinois all it can handle. I think Kentucky will just romp over Georgia, Chris.
Okay.
Now, Nathan Terry, 8th frame, 23 pins in arrears, needs some strikes.
Left with a 6 and a headache.
Well, the match is not over, but Nathan Terry is not giving himself the best chance to win. He's kind of lost his form, lost a little bit of that composure, and win or lose this match, he needs to go back and look at his videotape and understand what happened to him in this game. It's a little bit of his concentration and keeping his eyes on the target.
You'll remember that he eliminated Brian Voss 239 to 192, totaling 10 strikes in that second match. Voss winning the first over Mark McDowell 227 to 217.
Nathan Terry with strikes in the 9th, 10th, and 11th frames can be up to 212. Dave Ferraro going at a 216 pace. It's up to Terry to pressure David right now.
High hit, plenty of action. Foundation strike in the 9th.
Well, that's the